process is finished and it sent an email. I can't show you the email because it's confidential, I guess, but you can try it yourself. Okay, and finally the countries are different. So the first step is to open the website and focus the Chrome window. So let's copy the link, open G1ANT Studio, and use Selenium open command. Of course, don't forget to enable it here. I hope you remember to open this panel by opening view add-ons from the menu. Alright, Selenium open, type Chrome. We want to open Chrome browser with the URL that we copied. Now we want to bring the population window to the front and maximize. So as you can see, part of this window title is population, so we can use it. And another important thing is, well, we can launch the script and I hope you'll see that. It was that fast that, well, a good practice is to wait for the web page to be loaded. So we can right click at any value, for example, land area, or any class, for example, sorting 1, and just wait for the elements to be loaded. So again, Selenium, wait for value, return document get elements by class name, length greater than 0, and we want the expected value to be true. And then we want to bring the window to the front. Okay. The next step is to create an Excel file and fill it with headers. So let's create a path. Path is equal to, and again we want to use the special variable environment with the index user profile. Then on my machine it is desktop, and then automation examples. You can save it on any path that you want. And I will name this file countries. Countries.xlsx. Okay, and as you remember, we always want to create a path if someone doesn't have the automation examples folder, for example, created on their machine. So system IO directory, create a directory, system IO path, get directory name, path. semicolon at the end. And now we can use the XLSX add-on so that we operate directly on files and we don't open Excel applications. So XLSX open path, and obviously countries file that doesn't exist for now, but we can use creative not exist argument and specify the value of that to be true. Alright, and now the headers are SR no countries third right med age and aggregate. So this is how you can create a list. Specify the values that are in this list. So now we want to create a for loop for I variable from 1 to headers count. And we want to set value headers I variable row 1 call index I. Now we want to get a number of records that are on the website. So let's choose this option and see what is inside every record. For example, we can click here and you can see the sorting class is here. So let's use JavaScript to get that elements. Alright, it's 233. Sorry. Not this shortcut, I wanted that shortcut. So you can see that by that we've already done that here. But we used sorting class to wait for elements, and this was actually accidental. And that's funny. Alright, so let's use Selenium Run Script. Use add return keyword, and result should be website records number. Okay, and then we want to create a loop with no body, but with the correct conditions. No body yet. So first thing is that the website records number must be of an integer structure because it will be compared to the I variable that we'll create in a second, storing a number of a website record that is being currently processed. So let's create a while loop this time, and obviously change the website records number in structure to integer. Alright, and now let's create the while loop, while and while, and add the I variable that I told you about in a second ago, okay? And we're also going to create an Excel row number and initialize it with 1. So Excel records number is a number of records matching the criteria from the process description from our task. So it is probably the best option here to use a while loop, which should end when there are no more records on the website. So the I variable is equal to the website records number, or when the Excel row number is 16, because there are headers also, and we want to have 15 records. So the condition should be like this in a C# snippet. So the I variable must be less than website records number. So remember, what is the I variable? It stores a number of a website record that is being currently processed. So the current record must be less than website records number, and the Excel row number must be less than or equal to 15. Because we want to have 15 records that match the criteria. Okay, the next step, and of course we want to increase the value of the I variable by doing it just like this. Okay? So the next step is to get first rate and med age values inside a loop. So right click on any first rate value and choose inspect. Now we can right click the selected code in the developer tools and choose copy XPath that you can insert in the G1ANT Studio, just like this. Selenium get text, inserted XPath. Of course, don't forget to specify the name of the argument, and of course the argument by with value XPath. Then we want to, of course, we have to remember to replace the 1 with I variable. And you can investigate by copying the next XPath in the next record to see that it's increased by 1. Then we want to use Selenium get text, of course. And we want to do the same with med age. So let's find med age, inspect, again right click it, copy XPath, and you can insert it here by XPath. And of course don't forget to change the 1 value to the I variable. Okay. Then, if a record matches the above criteria, we want to insert its values in the Excel. So, we want to create an if block with a condition that compares birth rate and med age. And obviously, we want to add a result here. Birth rate and result med age. Okay. And in order for the C# snippet to work correctly, both variables must be of some numeric structure. And float is the most desired here as we are comparing numbers with decimal values. So here we want to add something like this. For third rate equal to, here should be float, third rate. Then med age equal to float med age. And here's the if block that I told you about. In the condition, there should be that third rate is greater than 2.5 and that the med age is greater than 27. And now we want to get a country name by copying XPath. So where is the country name? Country name is here. Let's choose this option, click here, and let's right click it, copy XPath. So here we want to use Selenium get text command, search, insert the XPath, and finally by argument with the value XPath. Okay. And now we want to create a list containing all the values that should be in a row. So let's do that. List create Excel row number, then country, then third rate, then med age, and then we want to aggregate, so we want to add a C# snippet here. Third rate multiplied by 0.5, 0.05 plus a med age. Okay. And we want to specify the type of this list. We want it to be of text. And the list will be named row values. All right. So the aggregate value that you can calculate is this way. And we want to insert those values into Excel using a for loop. So let's create a for loop. As before, I variable from 1 to row values count and for x value, x set value, set value, value row values I, row 1, call index Excel row number plus 1. And at the end, we want to increase Excel records number by 1. So Excel row number plus 1. Okay, and as you can see, this block of code is quite similar to this one. So let's refactor the code, setting values in Excel, and create a procedure for it. So we want to create a procedure fill Excel let's do this. Procedure fill Excel and procedure with the row number parameter. Row number parameter set to 1 by default, and with the list parameter being of a list structure. So list text and some random values. For example, just like that, so that it is of list structure. So let's copy this, paste it here, and instead of row values, we're going to use this parameter, list, and list here. And instead of I, we're going to use another variable j, for example, because all variables are global in Giant. And a row should be row number instead of 1, so row number. And call index should be j. Okay, I guess everything's great. So the counter variable, in that case j, must be different than I, because otherwise the procedure would change the value of I in the while loop, because I told you the variables are global in Giant. And the I variable is the number of currently processed website record. So instead of the following code, this code, we can just insert something like this. Call fill Excel with list headers. And we don't have to use the row number parameter, because the row number will be equal to 1, because they're headers, so they're in the first row. Okay, and instead of this, we can insert call fill Excel row number, and here Excel row number plus 1. We have to add 1 because the headers are also present, so yeah. And list is row values. All right. Now we want to close Excel and Chrome. So where should we do this? After a while loop. So XLSX, close, and then Selenium, close. So I hope there are no mistakes here, but it's a very long automation, so we'll see. Now let's close the Chrome instance and press F9 to check this automation. Alright, I can click here so that you can see how the steps are executed. Okay, variable country has not been defined. Country, alright, yeah, because I forgot to specify it here. Country. Alright, let's close it and maybe see if the file was, well, the file wasn't created yet, but yeah. it's some old file. Okay, let's press F9 and see again. Alright, I will click here so that you can see how the steps are executed. And remember, there are more than 200 records, so that's a lot to process. Okay, input string was not in a correct format. Why? Let's click View Variables and see what is wrong right now. Third rate is n.a.a. What is that? Well, obviously it's not a numeric value, so we can't cast it to float. And why is that? So let's see. Third rate. And Excel row number is 7, okay, and the I variable, where's the I variable? The I variable is 202. So let's scroll and see what is there. 202, and as you can see, there's some weird values. They're not numbers. So what can we do about that? We have to resolve this problem with casting to float when third rate and med8 are not numbers. So after many iterations of a loop, suddenly, as you can see, third rate and med8 are equal to n.a. instead of some numbers. So to resolve this, we can add another if. Let's close it so that we can see more code. Here, we'll add another if. And close the if block here. And of course, so that it's better, we can add another tab. So what should be in this condition? It should be third rate greater than 2.5 and med8, well, I'm just repeating myself. Well, we should specify that the third rate doesn't contain the n.a. word, and that the med8 doesn't contain it too. So med8. Alright. Med8 and third rate shouldn't contain n.a. And I guess it should resolve this. So the last step is to send an email with this attachment. So we should do exactly the same as in the previous automation. So we should create attachments list, then mail smtp, the host name, credential, mail, host, login, credential, mail, address, then password, credential, mail, password, from who? From our mail, of course. Credential, mail, address, to anyone, for example, robot user. With the subject, CSV, attachment, body, hi, here's your country's info, for example, and attachments. Alright, so now let's close it and remove this file that was created, and let's press F9. We'll wait a second. Oh, I forgot to enable add-on net, so the robot won't send an email. Okay, let's see how it works. Robot won't send an email and it will throw exception, but we shouldn't worry about that. I wanted to show you the file, how it is created, and if it is correct. Yeah, cannot find command because the add-on net is not selected here, but we shouldn't worry about that, as I told you. So let's open this file and see if it is here. Countries. Yeah, everything's fine. China with some other values. So countries are not got correctly. Why? Country. Okay, I forgot about the I, that it should be I variable, so that it's China, but all the values are of different countries. So, well, no. So let's enable add-on net, and let's press F9 and see finally that everything works correctly. Okay, we can bring it here so we can see all the steps. Okay, process is finished and it sent an email. I can't show you the email because it's confidential, I guess, but you can try it yourself. Okay, and finally the countries are different. Great, let's close it, and that's it for this tutorial. Thank you.